Are you having a hard time choosing between fire, cold or lightning? Why not choose all of them? Here is my Firestorm off-meta build on a low budget. Hello, welcome back to another build video, and today we're gonna check out my Stormweaver Firestorm build. So we are of course using Firestorm here, and it's a really cool skill because as a default it only do fire damage, but you can infuse this with fire, lightning and cold. And if you infuse this with like the regular fire infusion, you get 200% increased bolt frequency, and you also get bigger meters to storm radius. And when you infuse with cold, you get ice bolts, and when you infuse with lightning, you get lightning bolts. So we basically get all three elements here in the same skill. And for the support gems, we are using Overabundance, because Firestorm has a limit of 1, and with Overabundance we have a limit of 2. And then we use Control Destruction, so we get 25% more hit damage. And we can't do any critical hits, which is okay, because we don't scale any crit damage or crit chance or anything like that. We have Considered Casting, so we get 35% more damage. We use Rakiata's Flow, so we invert the elemental resistances. And we also have Diala's Desire here, and this gives us +1 level, but more importantly it gives us quality. And quality for Firestorm is pretty good because it gives us a bigger impact radius. So whenever the lightning bolts, cold bolts, firebolts, every bolt raining from the sky, they can overlap each other and basically shotgun the enemies. So having a little bit bigger impact radius will increase the chances of shotgunning. And the way one of the ways we get infusions here is by using Frost Bomb. And the way we have set up the passive tree and also our ascendancy, we have a chance to get like additional other infusions. So usually Frost Bomb only gives us cold infusion. But as you can see here, when we use it, now we get 2 fire and 1 lightning. We actually didn't get a cold infusion. We can use it again, and we didn't get anything other there. So it's a little bit RNG of what you get, but you get something at least. So here we get another cold infusion. So now we have all 3 of them. And for the support gems here, we use Harmonic Remnants. So we have 20% chance to grant additional Remnant. Remnant is basically an infusion, and we can also pick them up from 35% further away. We use Short Fuse, so the detonation time of Frost Bomb is less, because it's only gonna give us an infusion whenever the Frost Bomb is actually like detonating. So this helps with that. We use Second Wind, and that's the reason we can use it 2 times in a row before it goes on cooldown. And then we use cooldown recovery, so the cooldown is not as long, because you get a less cooldown recovery rate with Second Wind. And we have efficiency here, because there's like the build is kind of mana hungry. So we want to make sure that all the other skills, except for our main skill, cost as little as possible. And the second way we get infusions is by using Living Bomb. So usually you only get a fire infusion from this, but the way, as again we have it set up, makes us get other infusions as well. And we use Harmonic Remnants here again. We have Rapid Casting, we have Overabundance, and we have Efficiency. And usually whenever I start an encounter, like a map or a boss, I use Frost Bomb to get the infusions. But whenever I am in the map or have the encounter going, I use Living Bomb instead. Because you can't start an encounter with Living Bomb, because you actually have to kill something to get the infusion from it. So that's why I'm using both of them. And the third way we get infusions is by using Siphon Elements. So here we can collect them from further away, which is always nice. We don't have to actually like run up to them to get them. And here we have a chance per power of the enemy to spawn a cold, fire and lightning infusion. And we get that by freezing, igniting or shocking. And since we do all 3 elements all the time, we always gonna get these. And for the support gems here, we use Harmonic Remnants again. We use Fire Mastery to give it another level. And we use Clarity too, so we get some more mana regen. Because, as I said, the build is kind of mana hungry, so having regens and these type of things is nice to not always have to use your mana flask. We also use Trinity, and Trinity is really good to boost your damage, especially if you can get all 3 elements, which we can in this build. We're gonna have the full benefit of running Trinity. So we get 8% more elemental damage per 30 resonance of any type, and when we deal elemental damage with a hit, we get 15 resonance of the highest elemental damage type, but we also lose 3 resonance of the other types. And we also get increased skill speed whenever we are at maximum resonance. And in here we use Uthred's Exodus to give it plus 3 levels, because now you see we have 8% more damage. If we take this out, we are at 7. So that's another 1% more damage. I also have Temporal Chains here, which I only use on bosses. But you can obviously use this during mapping if you feel like. We are using Magnified Area here. We have Slow Potency. We have Heightened Curse. We have Cursed Ground. And we have Prolonged Duration. So let's get into the passive tree. We are Stormweaver, and we go for Refracted Infusion. So this is the one I was talking about earlier. So we have 50% chance when collecting an elemental infusion to gain another different elemental infusion. We also go to Storm's Recollection, and this doesn't really help that much during mapping, because you put on a Firestorm, you kill and you move on. But this really helps for bosses, or if you're running Simulacrum as an example, when you basically stay at the same area for some time. This basically makes the remnants reappear after 3 seconds. So you get like even more remnants going. We go down here to strike twice for double shock. And we go down here to Shaper of Storms, so we get all damage from hits contribute to shock chance. So we're always shocking and we get double shock. And for like the regular passive tree here, we are going up here, some spell damage, and get some elemental damage as well. We grab Principal Infusion, so we can collect the remnants from further away, and they also have 20% increased duration. And then we go down here for some mana regen and energy shield. Then we go down here for some increased or faster start of energy shield recharge and increased recharge rate. So usually what I go for, I've mentioned this in other build videos as well, when I do energy shield based builds, I like to have a pretty low energy shield recharge delay. I like to get it below 2 seconds and then have a decent recharge per second. So if we take a big hit, we lose all our energy shield. We don't have that long delay before we start to recharge it, and when we start to recharge it, we recharge fast. So it's like a defensive way of keeping energy shield up. We go up here, we grab some spell damage, we go over here, and we grab remnants, can be collected from 15% further away, but most importantly we get arcane remnants, so we recover 3% of our maximum mana whenever we collect a remnant. We go down here, and here we have increased mana cost efficiency and a little bit of regen. And then we have even more recover mana on kill here. So as you can see, the build requires a lot of mana regen. And we also go down here for some more energy shield. We go over here for magnitude of shock. And here is increased mana regen if we shocked recently. We go over here because we are doing all elemental types. So we chill, we shock, and we ignite. So this is a big damage increase to get the cluster over here. It's basically 30% increased elemental damage every time we chill, every time we shock and every time we ignite. Plus we have some small 10% here. Then we go up here for some increased area of effect. As I mentioned earlier, area of effect is pretty nice for the impact radius, so we can shotgun. So we get that. We go up here and get all the infusion nodes here, so we get increased spell damage whenever we have consumed an elemental infusion. And we also have a 10% chance to count as consuming them, but they still stay with us. So we grab that. We go down here for some fire damage. It's not much, but more importantly we get area of effect. That's why we grab the nodes over here. And also this one is explosive impact. Burning enemies you kill have 5% chance to explode, dealing 1/10 of their maximum life as fire damage. It helps a little bit with clearing. We go up here for +1 to maximum fire, cold and lightning infusion. And then we go to the left over here. So here you have infusion remnants you create are always a random element. So that means we have higher chance of keeping all 3 infusions up all the time. We go here for increased elemental infusion duration. And here is a 5% chance when collecting an elemental infusion to gain an additional of the same type. And then here we also have a big 10% chance. So we want to keep all the infusions up all the time if we can. So this helps with that. And then we go over to the right side here for some energy shield and intelligence. And then up here for skill effect duration. This helps with Firestorm. Right now we have a duration of around 5 seconds. Yeah, 5.22 seconds. And overabundance is actually reducing this quite a lot. So without overabundance it's 8.7. But since we do want to use overabundance to have 2 Firestorms up, we grab the skill effect duration there to get some more. And that's it for the passive tree. We can also look at the jewels, of course. So up here we're running a Prism of Belief with +3 levels to Firestorm skills. It's a really cheap diamond here, or Prism of Belief, because I don't see or know anyone that plays Firestorm. So overall this build will be very cheap to put together. So this is a pretty big damage increase. And then we have just a regular Sapphire here, so we get increased spell damage, faster start of energy shield recharge rate, a little bit of mana regen, and increased chance to shock. Most importantly here I would say is going to be the spell damage, because Firestorm is actually lacking a little bit of base damage, so we want to build up that damage as much as we can. But yeah, faster start of energy shield recharge is also pretty good. And mana regen, we need that, so also good. Chance to shock, I don't think we need that, but it doesn't hurt, you know. And over here we have a Heart of the Well diamond, so we get 1% increased movement speed, but most importantly here is that we get damage as extra fire and extra cold. Call speed is pretty good, but this isn't like a build where we spam our skills that much, so we don't really need a lot of call speed, but it feels good to have it. So yeah, that's it for the passive tree. And for the gear, on the wand you want to have +5 levels of either fire spells or all spells. All spells will be overall better, but it's going to be more expensive as well. And since Firestorm is our main skill, it's a fire spell, then plus levels to fire skills is good enough, you know. And then you want as much damage as possible, since Firestorm as a default have really low damage. You want to have as much damage as you can on other pieces. So gain as extra and increased spell damage is really good to have here. And increased cast speed and increased mana cost efficiency, both are not mandatory, but they feel good to have. And for the rune, we have a Rune of the Sky, so we get 5% of damage as extra of all elements, so basically 15%. And on the focus, you want to have a high energy shield, and plus levels to all spell skills, go for as high as you can, and also increase spell damage. Then squeeze in resistances if you need that, And personally, I have increased the energy shield recharge rate and faster start, because I think that feels good to have on an energy shield build. For the helmet, we go for increased energy shield recharge rate here once again. Not needed, but feels good. And resistances, put as much rarity as you can on all the pieces that you can, because rarity feels really good to have. And yeah, high energy shield. We also use a Bear Talisman here to get increased AoE. This helps with the shotgunning from the Firestorm. Body armor, you want high energy shield, resistances, max life, those type of things. But you also need spirit on the body armor. You don't need 58 because we have 19 spirits we can't really make use of. So you don't really need 58, but yeah, whatever you can get there as long as you can fit in all the spirit gems. For rings, you want to get increased either lightning, cold, or fire damage. Then high rarity and resistances. So you will get that on both the rings. And then maximum mana or mana regen is actually pretty good as well. If you get enough of it on rings, it might be possible to move some passive points around. I went for this, but yeah, that's obviously up to you if you want to change that a little bit. Then for belt, just regular defensive, you know, go for max life, resistances. Boots, high movement speed, you want high energy shield and resistances. You can also get rarity on the boots, so try to get that. And for the gloves, we are using Painter's Servant. So this is a really low level unique. It only requires level 30. And it's really good for this build because we gain a lot of extra damage as all of the different elements. And since we use all of them, we get full benefit of these gloves. So these can be corrupted as well for overcapping the maximum here. But I just have a regular one. So try to get these with obviously as high stats as you can get. And then for the necklace, we're using a fire flower. And this is not mandatory, but I would say that it's the more optimal way to do it. Because on a regular amulet, you can get +3 or I think +4 with Sanctified. But that's going to be very expensive for you. And here we actually get +5. So +4 is the normal. And then you can corrupt it to get +5. I think you can even get +6. But +6 is very expensive. So go for either a +4 or a +5. And it also has a little bit of rarity, which is nice, and mana regen. And yeah, then we have a Shining Staff for Sigil of Power. And here you want just to get as high level of all spell skills as possible, because that scales the Sigil of Power. So try to get that. Rest of the stats doesn't matter at all. And then for the charms, we go for a regular stun charm, regular freeze charm, and then we have Rite of Passage gold charm, which gives us the Spirit of the Owl. And Owl gives us increased energy shield, increased damage, and gain 20% of damage as extra cold. And this is, or I don't know the exact price of it right now, but can be more on the expensive side. So it's not a mandatory part to make the build work, but if you can get this or something similar that gives you increased damage, then that would be good. And then for the flasks, yes, go for whatever you can get, like high life recovery, high mana recovery rate. So yeah, that's it for the build for today. Hope you guys enjoy the video and enjoy the build. And if you have any comments or questions, let me know down below. I will also provide you a Mobalytics and Max Roll written guide if you guys want to follow that. And I stream on Twitch every day, so if you have any questions regarding this or any of my other builds, or just want to hang out and have a good time, then please come stop by, chill out. And yeah, see you on the next build guide. Take care.